Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day, and we start by toasting the happiest man in football tonight, Harry Redknapp, the manager of Bournemouth United, who this afternoon beat cup favourites Manchester United 2-0.
It's got to be the greatest day in my life, and I'm sure the greatest day in the lives of all the players. And it was just, you know, it's a great afternoon for everybody in Bournemouth. We're delighted, well pleased.
Are you surprised that Bournemouth was so much the better side there? Because, I mean, I don't think anybody would argue the better team won on the day.
No, I've had a feeling all week that we'd win the game, John. You know, I've had this strong feeling we could beat Manchester United today. The supporters were tremendous. The players are the fellas who've done it, not me. You know, the game's about players, not managers. It's about the fellas who get on the park and play. You know, we keep seeing managers on TV, and the managers are becoming more famous than the players. The lads have done it today with great support from all the people, so all credit to them.
What a performance. Well done, Harry and team. Later we shall see the Barrett World Doubles Championships from the Albert Hall, but we start with an All-London Cup tie at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham v Tottenham Hotspur, and your match commentator, Alan Parrott.
A tremendous atmosphere for the visit of the FA Cup's most consistent team in recent seasons, Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs, who won the trophy twice in the last 3 years, come here in the midst of their worst spell for a long time, having gone a month without a win. Keith Birkinshaw's reaction is to make more changes. He leaves out internationals Chris Hughton and Danny Thomas and brings back Mick Hazard and Gary Brooke. And with top scorer Steve Archibald unwell, Alan Brazil comes in at number 8. Several changes too in the Fulham team. They have 7 senior players unfit, including 3 forwards, but these young and inexperienced players ended a run of 13 games without a win with a 4-1 victory at Portsmouth a week ago. Making a welcome return after 6 weeks out through injury is young fullback Paul Parker. And the referee today is Tom Bune of Berkshire. So it's Fulham in the black shorts who kick off, attacking from right to left. And the new Craven Cottage pitch, though heavily sanded as you can see, is in fact reasonably dry and flat. The strong swirling wind is likely to present more problems. On by Lewington for Rosinho, the 19-year-old striker. Not a bad ball either. If for a moment it had Spurs in trouble, the clearance by O'Reilly. Steve Perryman will play as sweeper for Tottenham today in an effort to shore up a defence that has conceded 15 goals in its last 5 games. Brazil on by Falco. Rosinho, a good header, but it wouldn't stay in. Brazil. Carr in field, but robbed by Hoddle. Brazil. Falco unmarked. And a good save by the goalkeeper Payton, and Gale gets it away. But really the marking then questionable by Fulham, as Hoddle broke down the right and helped the ball on. Falco is unmarked, got in his shot, and a fine save by Payton. Corner the outcome. And Payton safe again for a moment, but he was pushed in fact, so it wouldn't have made any difference had Gary O'Reilly been able to find the net. Payton had been fouled. Free kick to Fulham. Bright opening to this tie.
Come on, John!
Carr for Fulham. Brazil. Lewington. Carr's tackle. Brazil wins it back for Spurs, and a good ball. What a fine challenge that was by Gale. Parker breaks for Fulham. Davis. Parker again. Hazard's challenge gives a free kick to the home side. Davis. A new role in this Fulham side for Gordon Davis, playing in midfield. Hopkins coming in to meet it, and Clements collided with Hopkins, and I think injured his shoulder. It was a very heavy collision. Clements came out very bravely, but it seemed to me with a high swirling ball like that, the defender was perfectly entitled to try and meet it. Looks very worrying, this, for Spurs. And I must say, Ray Clements looking none too well, but with only a few minutes gone, Spurs will be anxious for him to continue. And it's essential that for the next few minutes, Tottenham provide all the protection they can for their goalkeeper, who's bound to be feeling groggy. This is O'Reilly. A lot of players forward here, Spurs. One of them is Brook. Oh, it comes to Falco. And just kept off the line by Gale. Payton angry with his defenders for not giving him enough cover, but surely not with Tony Gale. Falco just helped it on, and it seemed that Payton had been beaten. Gale arrived to clear. So the nearest to a goal so far. But all Tottenham have is a corner. Payton gets to it. Lewington clear. And a lot of noise, I must say, from the Fulham bench. Ray Harford, the coach, Malcolm McDonald nearest to the camera. Hopkins with plenty of time. Finds Rosinho. Flicked on by Reeves. Davis chasing. The corner given. 5 minutes of the first half remaining. It would be a perfect time for Fulham to force something now. And they've certainly pushed plenty of men forward. Reeves will take the kick. The header was by Gale and was very, very close. Applause ringing round Craven Cottage. That corner curled wickedly in by Reeves. Gale climbed highest of all, but directed his header over the bar. Stevens. Brazil let it run. A fine through ball for Falco. Oh, what a good challenge that was by Parker. Fine little player, Paul Parker. Perryman again doing the sweeper's job to perfection and winning the throw. And the referee had a perfect view of that collision between Perryman and Marshall and has given Fulham a free kick. Well, you don't really need to be a lip reader to understand that Perryman inquired in a very gentlemanly fashion, what was that for, ref? Here's Davis. Gale. Coming up from the back is Carr. What a magnificent save by Clements. And I think that was the arm that must be feeling very sore. It was a fine effort by the little fullback Carr from 25 yards. And Clements, with his bad arm, made a brilliant save. Still danger. Reeves has it. Hopkins in. Perryman away. And Brook on the break. Oh, a great tackle by Lewington. And the Fulham skipper made a very important tackle in the middle of the field then. Neat 1-2. Rosinho. And now Parker. Gale runs into space well. 3 players in the box for him to find. And he wins the corner. Perryman, nearest to the camera, has made so many important interceptions. And the clenched fist showing What a character, what a personality in this Tottenham side he is. So well into time added on for stoppages, Fulham have a corner. Hopkins coming into meet it, but Perryman was there again. And half-time arrives with no goals, due largely to the form of Ray Clemence in the Tottenham goal, who, despite an early injury which has left him still holding that right shoulder very awkwardly, made one magnificent save. It was Carr's shot that produced the save of the half, and Fulham have had the better of the play, but Tottenham have defended resolutely and will take some breaking down in the second half. Fulham 0, Spurs 0. So Spurs get us underway in the second half, knowing they've got a real battle on their hands here. Fulham may be in the bottom 3 of the second division, but it took Liverpool 3 games to beat them in the Milk Cup this season, and I think everyone agrees Fulham's league position is a false one. Almost won promotion, of course, last season. This is Parker. Davis. Parker keeps going. And again. And a fine-looking cross. Oh! Well, that was strange. Ray Clemence was either remarkably cool or misjudged that cross. Parker going down the right, beating 2 challenges, floating it in, and it went off the top of the crossbar, with Ray Clemence apparently unperturbed. Brazil. Hoddle. What a beautifully judged ball for Falco. And in the end, a rather ineffectual header by Brook. But surely worth seeing again, that Glenn Hoddle through ball, judged inch perfectly for Falco. And Reeves for Fulham. Lewington. And here's Gale. Lewington again. Carr is free at left back and spotted by Hopkins. Well, it's not the Spurs you expect, this defending in depth. As Marshall gets the cross in, Davis! And the flicked header only just wide. I was about to say it's unusual to see Tottenham using so many players behind the ball, but for all their players then they were in trouble as Marshall crossed, and Davis with a little flick header was only just wide. Perryman for Spurs. Terrific atmosphere. A game that's short of only one commodity at the moment, and that's goals. A really good cup tie. Marshall. Scott. And Davis now. Lifted it in, a dangerous ball, which Clemence did well. And Rosinha's challenge means that Clemence has got another crack for the second time in the game. Rosinha came in late on that low cross, which Clemence went down bravely to save. And the Spurs goalkeeper has got another crack. So Clemence in the wars. Brazil met it well, but only headed it to Carr. On by Reeves. Carr again. Marshall. And Stevens with the interception. But this is Carr. Look for Rosinha. Hazard just got a foot in. And Tottenham really penned in their own half at the moment and can hardly get out. Brazil. Reeves with the interception. Beat Hoddle. This is Scott. How well the second division team are playing. Parker. Davis. A little bit unlucky then. And Brazil fighting a lone battle up front at the moment for Spurs. Stevens. Referee has whistled, and there's an unusual sight for you. It's not very often you see a number 1 being held up, and the man who's coming off is Ray Clemence. And real problems now for Tottenham. Twice FA Cup winners in the last 3 seasons. Now are losing their England international goalkeeper Ray Clemence, with what is obviously a recurrence of the shoulder injury that he suffered early on in this game. So Graham Roberts takes over in an unfamiliar blue goalkeeper's jersey. And Crook will take his place in midfield as Spurs try and reorganise things. The Fulham fans believe now that their team are in with a real chance of a cup upset. But the way Spurs are battled in this game, you can't write them off. But Fulham's tactic now will obviously be to attack the goalkeeper at every opportunity. Reeves. Davis. What a good clearance by Perryman. Falco. Here's Crook. Tremendous noise. Bowen. And Roberts wanted to get a feel of the ball. Wasn't a bad kick, was it? Lewington, the Fulham skipper. Rossini, a good ball on for Reeves. On it goes to Marshall. Now then, Roberts comes out and makes a fine save. Rossini! Oh! Well, the referee had in fact whistled from the initial challenge by O'Reilly, and that's a free kick to Fulham. So all the excitement that followed was really in vain. So is this the opportunity for Roberts to show his real goalkeeping skills for the first time, I wonder? Carl lets it go to Gale, and Roberts makes a superb save. Well, that must have been difficult for any goalkeeper. A wall of players in front of him. Gale's shot along the ground towards the far post, and he tipped it round superbly. And he comes again. And Brook relieves the pressure. Parker lucky to get it back. On for Rossini. Roberts out again. Ray Clemence must have been giving him lessons. Rossini breaking through the middle, but Roberts read it well. And Ray Clemence will be pleased at the way the standing goalkeeper has operated. And there's the final whistle. And Tottenham, thanks to this man, Graham Roberts, have held on, a tale of 2 goalkeepers. Ray Clemence walks away, and if he can get that injured hand out of his pocket, will surely be the first to shake Graham Roberts by the hand. Tottenham's attitude and character in the face of such adversity was absolutely admirable, and the 2 managers and this big crowd have plenty to talk about. No goals perhaps, but no lack of excitement.
Well, despite the lack of goals, a dramatic cup tie there, and right at the centre of the action was the man who stood in for injured goalkeeper Ray Clemence. He dislocated his shoulder, incidentally. That man, Tottenham defender Graham Roberts.
Well, Graham, be honest, what was your feelings when you realised Ray Clemence was coming off?
Well, at half-time, it was very doubtful if he would come out for the second half. And they was talking about it, and Ray came out last, so something must have been said. And then he got injured very early on in the second half, maybe 15 minutes. And I felt maybe that would be my time to go and goal.
Were you dreading it?
No, not really. You know, you get in the atmosphere and really it spurred me on a bit.
Have you done that before in a big game?
No, never. Glenn's done it at Manchester United, so I had something to compare myself with, really.
Now, what about those saves, particularly at the end? You must have been well pleased.
Yeah, well, you're always pleased when you make saves. The one from the free kick, it was they put, I think, 4 on the end of the wall, and they just curled it, and I didn't really see it till it really got near me, and I just flung myself. And
now, Ray Clemence is saying it's unlikely he'll be fit for the replay. Do you fancy the job again?
Well, got to get the gloves off me now.
And however well he played today, I'm sure they'll have those gloves off him for the replay on Wednesday, which incidentally is at 8 o'clock at White Hart Lane. Well, there were shocks all over the place this afternoon, and to tell you about them now, here's Bob Wilson.
Well, traditionally, the third round of the FA Cup provides the biggest shocks, and so it proved again today. Manchester United, the holders, are out, beaten 2-0 by third division Bournemouth. 2 second-half goals in 2 minutes, first by Milton Graham and then by Ian Thompson, broke United's resistance, and make no mistake, the third division side deserved to win. Manchester United manager Ron Atkinson wouldn't argue with that. After keeping his players locked in the dressing room for 45 minutes, Atkinson emerged to make a scathing attack on his team, saying, "Our performance was an absolute disgrace to the name of Manchester United. We now owe it to our fans and to ourselves to win the league championship." To complete a disastrous cup day for Manchester, City were also knocked out, beaten 2-1 at 4th Division Blackpool. An own goal by City's Neil McNabb proving decisive. Other shocks, Mick Baxter scored the winner as Malcolm Allison's Middlesbrough beat Arsenal 3-2. Kevin Stonehouse hit the winner for Huddersfield against Queen's Park Rangers, 2-1 the score there. Billy Gilbert got the only goal as another second division side, Crystal Palace, beat first division opposition, in this case Leicester City. But the result that rivals Bournemouth's win came from Alliance Premier League side Telford United. They've already knocked out 2 league sides and today made it a hat-trick with a 4-1 triumph at Rochdale, despite being a goal down. Dean Edwards cancelled out Rochdale's lead within 2 minutes, then Malcolm Bailey in the 59th minute and Eddie Hogan in the 60th put the non-leaguers on top, and Colin Williams completed the victory 10 minutes from time. The only other non-league survivors, Maidstone United, went out by the same score, 4-1 at Darlington. Now a quick look at the replay dates. On Tuesday, Birmingham Sheffield United, Newport Plymouth, Scunthorpe Leeds, Swindon Carlisle, Watford Luton and Wolves Coventry. On Wednesday, Norwich Aston Villa, Oxford Burnley, Tottenham Fulham, West Brom against Rotherham. No fortunes to be won on the pools with 13 scored draws. Dividends will be low, no claims needed. Here are the numbers: 1, 6, 7, 12, 13, 17, 30, 31, 37, 38, 45, 46 and 47. Now more goal action from the top game in Scotland, Rangers against Aberdeen. Your commentator, Archie McPherson.
Good long penetrating touch out there. Williamson trying to go in. And a penalty kick. The referee has awarded a penalty kick for pushing. And both Rangers players were going through the middle. Protest by the Aberdeen defence. Leighton taking his time to go in goal. Now Cooper. He's done it. And Ibrox erupts. Weir. Fraser goes with him. Great play by Weir. Can he cut it back? He does. Hewitt makes it 1-1.
Honours even there, and that wraps up the football action for tonight. Tennis to come in a minute, but I should remind you about Sports Night on Wednesday next, when you'll be able to see one of today's third round FA Cup tie replays, as well as the European Figure Skating Championships. That's Sports Night, 10:30 on Wednesday next. But we're live again on Friday evening at 7:05 when we visit Loftus Road to see Queen's Park Rangers versus Manchester United. Both lost in the Cup today. Both will be anxious to get about their business in the league once again. Don't miss that on Friday, 7:05. Good night, and I'll see you then.